There you go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are going to be talking about obesity and weight management. I thought that after the last few sessions where we focus on some of those popular diets that are out there at the moment, I thought it might be good to just look at the obesity epidemic and why it is so important for those that are looking to find a diet, why it really is important that they focus on finding one that works for them and that can promote health and try and curb this epidemic that is going on at the moment. So overweight and obesity. So the World Health Organization defines this as an abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to an individual's health. It is a complex disease with multiple drivers such as energy imbalance between calories consumed and calories expended, and a person's genetics and epigenetics. So some of the facts. All over the world, obesity has nearly doubled since 1980. In 2008, more than 1.4 billion adults aged between 20 and over were overweight. And of these, over 200 million men and 300 million women were classed as obese. 65% of the world's population lives in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. In 2013, 42 million children under 5 were overweight or obese. And I guess the big point here, obesity is preventable. Now, some of those facts are quite staggering, especially 42 million children under the age of 5 being overweight or obese. So I guess you need to look at whether it's the lifestyle that they're living, whether it's their family environment, whether it's epigenetics. There is a strong genetic component to being overweight and obese as well. But there are obviously steps that you can take to prevent this from happening to you. Now, obesity in Australia. So this is just a table that demonstrates some of the facts as well. So 3 in 5 Australian adults are overweight or obese. That is over 12 million people. 1 in 4 Australian children are overweight or obese. 5% more adults are overweight or obese than they were in 1995. There's over 30% more people living in outer regional and remote areas that are obese than people living in major cities. And we are 3rd place. So overweight and obesity is only beaten by smoking and high blood pressure as a contributor to the burden of disease. So once again, some pretty alarming facts there, just looking at how many adults and children are overweight or obese, and also looking at the major cities versus regional areas, how there are more overweight and obese people in outer regional and remote areas than in major cities, which could indicate that the support or the education is not there for those people living remotely. Still looking at obesity in Australia, it's estimated that by 2025, 70% of the Australian population will be overweight or obese. Obesity is recognised as one of Australia's leading health concerns involving all age and socio-economic groups. Now, there's also a strong association with several chronic diseases and obesity, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, cancers, mental health conditions, and eating disorders. And it can be influenced both directly and indirectly by a range of social, environmental, behavioural, genetic, and psychological factors. As I said earlier, there are, the way a person is brought up, their family environment, their friend circle, genetics, certain behaviours that they've got, any psychological conditions or factors. These can all play into someone's predisposition and an ongoing epidemic, I suppose. Now, with weight management, for most overweight and obese adults, weight loss of only 5% of initial body weight is very achievable and reduces health risks, including the lowering of blood pressure and reducing the risk of or delaying the progression of type 2 diabetes. The benefits further increase with further weight loss. The goals of weight management should really focus on behavior change and improved health as well as weight loss. All successful strategies involve some form of ongoing lifestyle change. It's not some quick fix that you can do once and expect to see long-lasting results. It really does take some form of commitment to whatever practice or lifestyle change you are undertaking in order to change your current weight. A holistic approach often yields the best results, focusing on a sound weight management treatment program, adequate exercise, behavior change strategies, self-acceptance, a desire for change, and a balanced diet with moderate calorie restriction. So I guess looking at that list, you can see that it's not a simple thing, and that's why a lot of people struggle to do it on their own. But if you're looking for external help, there definitely are a lot of people out there that are able to, I guess, guide you in the right direction when you're looking at all these individual things. As we've learned from those diet seminars the last few weeks, weight management, a proper weight management program, one that works for you is going to be your best choice. There's no point undertaking a diet plan that you know you're not going to be able to stick to. So working with someone to find the one that best suits your lifestyle. Adequate exercise. Obviously, before you start any sort of exercise program, you need to check with your doctor or your healthcare provider to make sure that you are, physically healthy and fit and are able to exercise. But then whether that involves seeking some outside help, a personal trainer or, a physiotherapist that specializes in this sort of thing. Even if you get the all clear and you are allowed to exercise, maybe just getting together with a group of friends, a walking group, or just doing exercise with friends at the gym, etc., is really going to yield some great results as well. Behavioral change strategies, that's obviously you need some more professional help if they are quite strong behaviors that you would find hard to change yourself. Self-acceptance, that's a big one for some people, and a lot of people that are overweight or obese have a lot of self-acceptance issues. So if you're not able to deal with that on your own, then seeking external help from some sort of counsellor would be beneficial there. They would also help with that next point as well, which is a desire for change. And a balanced diet with moderate calorie restriction. So, as we said at the beginning, in that definition from the World Health Organization, it's all about calories in versus calories out. If you're consuming more calories than you're burning off, then you're going to have excess weight, and you need to be in a calorie deficit in order for you to be losing weight. So some help with guiding that is going to be beneficial as well. Some of the dietary interventions. So people often have unrealistic expectations of how much weight they can lose on a diet. And I guess media reports and celebrity success stories definitely don't help this. Every other week you are seeing some celebrity on the cover of a magazine who 4 weeks ago weighed, 120 kilos and now they're 70 kilos. And it really does put some really false ideas into people's head about what is actually realistic and what's achievable and what's not. I guess the thing to understand is there's a couple of things. Most of the time, you're not getting the full story. These people do have the money and the resources to pay trainers and, everything they're eating and every day, the amount of exercise that they're doing. It is all kind of laid out for them. So yeah, you're definitely not getting the whole story. And as we've said in previous seminars, you don't want to lose too much weight too quickly. It's quite unhealthy. When you lose weight, you get a breakdown of toxins in your body that are stored in your fat cells. And if you're losing too much weight too quickly, you're going to have an abundance of those toxins floating around in your system, which is not healthy. So, the unrealistic expectations is a big one. And it shouldn't, people shouldn't be disheartened, even if they're only losing a small amount of weight each week, because at the end of that week, they are still lighter than when they started. Interventions of a dietary nature should be designed to create an energy deficit. As I said earlier, you need to be burning off more calories than you're actually putting in. Suit the needs and preferences of the individual. I've said this quite a few times. If the diet doesn't actually fit you and your lifestyle, then it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to stick to long term. Include a wide variety of nutritious foods. So instead of just sticking to the same food or foods every couple of days, it's really about getting a really wide variety. Firstly, so that you are getting a range of nutrients. If you are eating the same things, you're just going to be be getting those same nutrients over and over, and you might be missing out on some key ones. The other advantage of a wide variety of food is that you're not going to get bored. It's just going to be more variety for you is going to be more beneficial. It needs to provide beneficial nutrients in required amounts. So obviously, depending on your life stage, your age, etc., your body is going to have a different requirement for certain nutrients. So the diet really does need to cater towards that. And as I said, has to be sustainable long term. If it's not, you're not going to stick to it. A lot of people go on a diet for a couple of weeks, realize they can't stick to it, and then they just spiral backwards and end up worse than before they actually started the diet. So we don't want that happening. So looking at some lifestyle changes, this is just a short table that looks at some, I guess, some alternatives in terms of calories burnt. So, emailing a colleague at work is going to burn 2 calories on the computer. Walking to the colleague's office is going to burn 4 calories instead. Riding an elevator is 3, taking the stairs, 19 calories. If we look down the bottom, playing a video game at home is burning 53 calories. Playing basketball is 280 calories. So it really is just about finding those things in your life that could easily be adjusted. It doesn't always have to be exercise per se, but just little things that you do can count as exercise. And it doesn't all need to be in one hit either. You can, do little bits throughout the day and they all add up. If you can get to about half an hour of exercise a day, you're really going to see benefits of that as well. So just to summarize what we've gone over, overweight and obesity is a rapidly growing health concern. Both of these are associated with a number of serious health conditions that can shorten the duration of one's life or require the need for medication. Some people do want to avoid medication. There are some nasty side effects on some of the medications that are involved with being overweight. So there are lifestyle changes that can be made in order to reduce the risk of needing those medications. Addressing the problem is a complex puzzle involving diet, lifestyle, and behavioural changes. So it really is a bit of a pyramid, and all 3 things do need to be worked on concurrently in order to yield the best results. And as I've already said, there are many avenues to get help. So ensure that if you see someone about weight loss, they're qualified in that area and they've had previous success. You really want to be able to trust the person that you're talking to and know that they've had success in the past treating other people of a similar condition. But look, the main thing is that you are seeking help and not trying to go it alone. So that's it for this section. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will be back next time with another topic for you.